Hi there, this is Catherine with Enfolded Heart Music. Welcome back to our walkthrough tutorial for the song Veil of Mist. This is part 3, so if this is the first video that you're watching of this series, I would encourage you to go back to parts 1 and 2 where we've covered parts A, B, and C throughout those two. Today we're going to continue moving forward with parts D and E, and in that way we'll finish up not quite the entire piece, but all of the major parts. I am going to do a part 4, again, hopefully next week, that includes a number of things. The first is sections that, basically sometimes the transitions between, for example, parts A and B are slightly different at the very, very end. And so there's a couple of places where I've said, okay, part A repeats itself 5 times, or part B 4 times, or whatever it may be. And that's true except for maybe like 1 or 2 notes. And so I just want to touch on all of those little exception points. There's a handful of them, but it's worth going over. And then we'll also do the very end, which is sort of a larger exception. We'll do that again next time and then put all of it together. So that's my plan for part 4. Part 3, again, we're going to be doing parts D and E. Oops, my stand is sliding down on me. So let's do a little bit of a summary recap about where we're at, and then I'm actually going to play through where you should be. Of course, since this is a more challenging piece, but this is true with any piece, don't move forward until you're actually ready. Otherwise, you'll be sort of okay at all of it, but not really have mastered anything, and that gets frustrating. So, all right, so looking at parts D and E, these are only played once, and so that makes it, in a certain sense, a little bit more difficult because you only come around to them one time. One time. But part D is from measure 34 to 44, and part E 53 to 63. So again, 34 to 44 and 53 to 63. Just so we can have a look at the roadmap of where we've been and where we're going. That sounded like a, I don't know, tourist advertisement. Anyways, so if we're looking at the beginning of the piece, we have part A, part B, and then return back to A. We then move to part C, followed by part D. Then it goes back to part A before we move into part E. So you should be able, at this point, if you're learning this section of the piece, you should have already basically mastered or be very, very comfortable with everything up through measure 53. Just to give a lay of the land in general, we go through part E, then it returns back to B, C, A, and that's the end of the piece. We have a little bit of a different thing right there. I just realized I misspoke. We haven't done part D yet, so you should actually be comfortable with up through measure 34. We'll see if I end up cropping that out of the video. So let me be very, very clear. Since we have not done part D yet, we've done parts A, B, and C. You should be comfortable with everything through measure 34. Okay. Alrighty, so let's pause for a second. We'll come back. I'm going to play up to that section, so I'm going to illustrate in a slightly different way what I meant. I'm going to change the camera so we can zoom in on the lyre itself, and then we'll get into the specific notes and go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so we're starting part D in this section, but before we do that, I do want to go ahead and play through everything that you should be able to play through at this point. So again, this is going to be measures 1 through, let me see one more time what that is, 1 through 34. You don't need to play it up to speed necessarily, but definitely be familiar with it. I am going to do a page flip because I'm going to be using the music off and on. There may be a few small exceptions in regards to, am I playing exactly note for note everything in the piece? The right hand will be awfully close, if not exact. The left hand will be the same thing. Left hand's a little bit more likely to kind of venture into something different, but I'm going to try my very best to stay very loyal to the music. So here we go. From beginning all the way through part C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's roughly where you should be. I think everything was pretty close in regards to notes and rhythms. So looking at part D, we're going from 34 all the way through 45. We've got a lot of triplets in this section, but also a lot of repetition. So directly after part C, you go into part D. So looking at the right hand, we're going to do roughly 2 measures at a time for this. And our first measure, we have all triplets. So each beat has 3 notes on it. And here I'm just going to name the notes first, and then we'll talk about rhythm. So we have F, E, D, B, D, E, F, E, D, B, D, E. So it repeats. So we have the same thing twice. Okay. You are going to want to use all 4 of your fingers. So you want to have a 4 on that F. Okay. And that's actually the right rhythm. So we have triplet, 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 triplet. So here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, 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 triplet. Probably the most challenging part about this spot is to keep your fingers in the right place. You're obviously going to have to come off of the string when you play it, but you want to come quite quickly back down. And it's easy to place those fingers, 1 string off or something like that. So give that a try, give that a bit of practice. The next measure for the right hand, then we'll do the left hand. We want to shift everything up, our whole hand up 1 string, and do something very similar. So now we'll have our 4 on G, then F, E, C, E, F, and a half note on G. So we have 2 triplets and then a half note. Triplet, triplet, 1, 2. That's actually on 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me put these together so you can hear how they flow together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do it a second time, and I want you to notice that when I make that transition between the first and second measure and the first and second position, that when I come up on that last triplet, I need to move my forefinger up to G. It will be on F. We need to move it up to G so that it's ready to go. So I'm going to do it one more time, and I want you to pay close attention to that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, then for the left hand, we just have quarter notes here, nice and easy. The notes for that, we have it in two different positions. In our B position, so we have B, D, F, D. So just nice quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just like the right hand moves up one string, the left hand also moves up one string and repeats the same pattern. So we have C, E, G, E. So here's the left hand for these two measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let's put those together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now there's going to be some blurring in the sound. That's sort of part of the feel of this little section. If you don't like to do that, I would mute some more notes in your left hand. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Then moving on to 37 and 38. 37, it's exactly the same as 35. So we have in our B position. Okay. So let's do those three measures together just so you know how they flow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in measure 38, we change up a bit from what we've been doing. And just to name the notes first, you won't need to move your hand because, well, I'm sorry, you'll need to move part of your hand. You won't need to move all of your fingers, I should say, because you'll have your 4 on that F. And then, let me make sure you can see this. Yeah, okay. 4 on that F. So your 3 should already be on the E. And we have E, C, A, and then back up to E. And you want to kind of keep your 4 still on that F sharp because in the next measure we go back to the same thing that we've been doing. The rhythm for it is a eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, half note. Okay, so here's how the rhythm will sound. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here's measures 37 and 38 with the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now the left hand is the same in 37 as we had in 35. And then in 38, instead of shifting up, we're going to just shift down one note and continue the pattern. So we've got A, C, E, C, all quarter notes. So here's the left hand 37 and 38. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's put them together. In the right spot, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. One more time without me counting so you can hear everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then measures 39 and 40 are exactly the same as measures 35 and 36. So let's play what we've got so far. This is almost all of D, but we're not quite there. So let's do 35 all the way through 40. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we move on to measures 41 through 45. We have a lot of very similar rhythms, but moving into different positions. Okay. So right hand for measure 41. We have triplet, quarter note, triplet, quarter note. This is true also for measure 42. Triplet, quarter note, triplet, quarter note. You'll still want to be using all your fingers, so having that top note playing with your 4. We've got A, G, F, and D. Okay, so we play that once, and then shift your whole hand down one string to play the same rhythm and same intervals with G as your top one. So G, F, E, and C. So here's this measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's keep going because this is really similar as we move forward. In measure, let's see, 42, we have the same thing, so that starting on the A, and then now instead of moving down, we're going to move up one string to have our 4 on the B. So B, A, G, and E. So let's do these two measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add the left hand and then we'll do the last 3 measures. So the left hand, we shift up a little bit. So we were on C, E, G. And now we want to have, I think I'll probably use, let me think. Yeah, I will probably use my 1 and 3 for each one of these pairings. There's a pairing, 2 notes basically go together and they shift up or down, just like the right hand does in the left hand. You can play around with that. You can use your 1 and 2, but I would probably keep it consistent and just shift on the lyre rather than trying to use like your 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 in different spots. So measure 41 will have D and then F, all quarter notes. Then drop down to C and E. Then in the next measure, we move back up to D, F, and finish off with E and G. So here's these 2 measures for the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we'll put the hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time before we finish it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, then we have 3 more measures left for part D. We're now in measure 43. We've got on the first beat a triplet, group of triplets, second beat, group of triplets. Then the third and fourth beat are kind of divided in 2. So we have triplets, triplets, and then eighth note, quarter note, eighth note. So looking at what the notes actually are, we're going to move back to our sort of A position. So we'll have A with the 4, G, F, D, F, G, okay. Then we finish off this measure by going to F, then E, and D. We'll continue in a moment with the last 2 measures. But here's how this will sound with the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add the last 2 measures because it finishes off this phrase. In measures 44 and 45, we have a repeat. We have a repeat of the note D, and then we just travel down C, B, and then B. We have a half note, dotted quarter, eighth, and whole. So here's the right hand for this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do 43 through 45. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now let's look at the left hand. This is the end of part D. So once we've gotten this and we put it all together, that's all of part D. So the left hand, the first measure, this is measure 43. We have a dotted half note plus a quarter note. The dotted half note is our D, and the quarter note our F. And then we come back down in measure 44 to our B position. We have B as a quarter note, then D as a half note, F as a quarter, and land back for a whole note on B. That's just the notes. Let's put the rhythm with it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's put the hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time and then we'll do the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's do all of part D. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go right into part A. Okay, etc. Okay, so get comfortable with D, because after part A, we then go into part E. So I'm going to take a pause, and we will go ahead and look at part E. Alrighty, we're back and looking at part E now. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the piece, if not my favorite part. Partly because it's a huge contrast rhythmically from what we've been doing. We've been doing all these triplets. We've doing a bunch of I just spaced eighth notes, but a lot of those triplets, and there are, I think, yeah, there are no triplets in this section at all. And we kind of, I don't know, we just do something really different in this, so it's really fun from my perspective. But so we're going to be looking at measures 54 all the way through the first half, you could say, of measure 64. After that, there's pickups into part B again. Oops. Okay. So, but let's take a closer look at this. We have a little bit of a pickup note. We've got at the end of measure 53 with the right hand, we have a quarter note on this lower A before we go up to here. Your fingering is kind of up to you. I come off the lyre a lot on this top A, so I just use a 1 and 3. I find that more comfortable because I'm gonna come off anyways, rather than using a 1-4. But either way, you want to have a 3 on the G that comes after that. So let's talk about the notes first. So we've got A, then G, F, I lost my spot, E, F, and we're going to continue because this next measure is the same phrase. We have a grace note on this F again up to the G. Okay, so then we have quarter notes G, F, E, and then I like to just cross over with my 2 to get down to this D. The rhythm for the first measure, so we have a pickup quarter note, then we have a dotted quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, eighth note. So here's how this sounds. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For that grace note, I go over grace notes in the Lyre Foundations course, but it's just a real quick note. You don't want the G to be late coming in, so you kind of squeeze it in between the 2 primary notes. That's why it's small. It doesn't actually take up space. So let's listen to that again. It was almost a little short. So it's one of those things you just have to sort of play with to get the muscle memory for it. But it's really fun. I love doing grace notes. It's like one of my favorite things to do. I think it just, I don't know, it adds something extremely playful and really fun and sort of a little decoration to it. So, all right, that's what we have with the right hand. And, let's keep going. Let's do 4 measures at a time on this one. It'll be a little bit easier, I think. So after we've come down and landed on this D, which for me, I use my 2 for that, you need to come back up to this high A. You want to have your 2 on that because you need to get up to the B and down to the G. So we have A, B, G. A, B, G. And then we end this phrase on A. This is the first note of measure 57. We've got dotted quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, dotted half note. So here's how this right hand goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do the right hand for these 4 measures. 1, 2, 3. All right. Then the left hand. There's some flexibility in this. The rhythm is not exactly consistent. But let me just describe to you what it says. Mostly what's important are the positions of your chords. So we're going to have our G position, so G, B, D, G, B, D. And then we move up to the A position, A, C, E, back down, and back up. Rhythmically, we have a quarter note, a dotted quarter note, dotted quarter note. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then when we move up, we have a dotted quarter note, and dotted quarter note. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and let me do that again. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then we drop back down, having the same thing that we had in measure 54. We have quarter, dotted quarter. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we end with something more simple, quarter, half note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's how it sounds by itself. It will make more sense with the right hand because it basically fills in the blanks. It plays on an offbeat compared to the right hand. That's how I ended up doing it this way, which is usually how I end up doing it. But let's play it as written, and then we'll go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with the right hand. See how this sounds together. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we basically repeat ourselves. In measures 58 and 59, we have exactly what we had in measures 54 and 55, even with our pickup. All right. Then we get something a little bit different. And this will take us, there it is. Okay, yep, to the end of this section. So with the right hand, we basically just staircase it up. So starting in measure, let's see, 57, 8, 9, 60. We've got 3 measures full of quarter notes, just straight up quarter notes in the right hand. And we start this on B. So you're going to use all 4 of your fingers to get all these. And you just do 1 string at a time. B, C, D, E. All quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you repeat that after you've moved your hand up 1 string so that you're now on C, and you have C, D, E, F. C, D, E, F. We're building drama in the song here. Then we move up 1 more so that our 1 is on D, D, E, F, G. And then we simply end with 3 half notes up on the A, 2, and then F, 3, 4, and then 1 more on the A. So let me play this for you because you'll hear how it's supposed to build, which is exactly what it does in the piece, and the flute adds a nice touch to that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it goes into part B, a nice big so it's just a really nice lead up into that, because this is a big move right there. I don't usually talk about dynamics in this very much because it's already kind of a full video as it is, but for this part in particular, I would start quiet and build up. Hopefully you could hear that. That was a big crescendo right there. All right, now let's add the left hand, and then we're done with part E and essentially with the whole piece, which is kind of amazing. So we have actually now a consistent rhythmic pattern with our left hand with the next 3 measures. Every measure that has a staircase. With that, with the left hand, we have dotted quarter, quarter. Okay, and we have this, it's basically moving in the opposite direction as the right hand. The right hand, we step it up, doo, 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 and then the left hand, we go down, dun, dun, dun. Starting on B, so B, D, F. Then we go down to A, C, E, and then G, B, D. All right. So here's the rhythm for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right. Let's finish it off. Okay. Then when we've gone down here, we move back up to the A position, A, C, E, and we have a quarter note, half note, quarter note, and then we end back down on our A with a dotted half note. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's put this together. Left hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's put them both together. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I missed that top note. Ah! So you see how it gets bigger. One more time because I missed that top note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can kind of hear the build up to it. It's also one of the reasons this section is my favorite, because I don't know, it builds up in a really nice way and adds that final drama that I like to have at the end of every piece, where you return back and it's just like you're really joyful to be home again. Is the feeling that or the sense, the kind of word I try to communicate there, which I think is just so powerful. So we go through something very different. No triplets, no nothing. We're kind of like in a faraway place, and then we are sort of searching for home as we go here, and then it's like it's in our sight, and then we're home. That's why it's so important not to miss that top note, because kind of ruins it. Anyway, just to give a little bit more insight to the piece, we go B. And then we come back around to C. It's sort of like going to places that you haven't been to in a long time. And then we end the piece really back home with our part A. Really familiar there. So just so you have an idea of kind of the musicality of the piece and the story that it tries to tell, which is really kind of the story of every piece that I've got here. It's yeah, it's a return to someplace familiar, but returning anew again, and I think that's a very relatable story in a lot of ways. So, okay, so let's look at let's just play the whole part E, and then we'll call it a day from there. All right. So measures 54 through 64. Here we go. One, two, three. Okay. One more time just for fun. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I goofed a little bit on the left hand, but if you just go with it, you end up finding something creative and interesting. So anyways, all right, let's adjust the camera, and I'll give some final thoughts. Okay, if you are, sorry, this is wobbling. If you are at this point, I kind of feel like it's fitting to just say congratulations, because that means that you have you've reached sort of the end of the piece. There's a few small things that we're going to go over in part 4, but you have really mastered by far the majority of the piece, and I'm sure it's taken some dedication and work and all that sort of stuff. And so just a little encouragement and congratulations for continuing through it. And I hope you really enjoy the piece. It's very fun to play. It's got a lot of what makes it hard rhythmically is that it has a lot of offbeats. It has a lot of kind of funky rhythms, but it makes it particularly fun to play because of that, from my perspective at least. I hope you share in that in your own way. So again, in part 4, what I'm going to be covering is any exceptions in the transitions where this happens between different parts that we haven't gone over, where I've simply said, okay, part A repeats itself. And it does, except maybe there's, 2 eighth notes somewhere that I want to make sure to point out, just so that you notice it and can incorporate that if that's something you want to do. Most of the times I do this in order to make it not absolutely exactly the same. It's kind of amazing the world of a difference that it makes to add just 1 or 2 little decorative notes that are not in the first time or the second time you play a theme. But it adds a little bit of a surprise and, again, a little bit of decoration that maybe would have been a little too much the first time. But as you go through and the listener is already familiar with that theme, then they appreciate and can kind of receive something a little bit extra. So, all right, so we'll be doing that. Then we'll be covering the very end, because this is different than every other part. It is part A, but there's a little bit where you can repeat the end of it several times, and then we finish off. So that's probably about 10 measures or so. And then we'll do a full playthrough. I'll make sure that you understand the order of everything, which you'll be able to see, from your own sheet music. But it's nice to see it thematically, I think, and have somebody maybe walk it through, so that you can make sure to see that whole big picture. Makes it easier to memorize as well, so you're not having to flip through the pages. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. We'll see. I may just play it memorized. I don't know. I'm not sure what'll be best, but anyways, if you have any questions, if you're having trouble with any of it, again, feel free to reach out via comment or email, whatever's best for you, and I'll help you as best as I can and offer you whatever it is that I know. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this is of service to you. And anyways, God bless you. May the peace of Christ be with you. Thank you again so much.